What is up, everyone? Welcome back to WX Garage. It is very early in the morning right now. It is very cold. It was about 38 degrees when I woke up, but it's supposed to be a high of 77 today. So it should be a great day for the first of 2-day events here at La Junta. This is going to be the last track event with SCCA this year. It's going to be really incredible because this is the first track that I went to. The first place I ever tracked my car, the first time I ever tracked my car. So the last time I was here, it was pretty rough, just really learning the ropes. I am nowhere near expert level or, you know, as good of a driver as I can be, but I'm definitely a lot better now than I was at the beginning of the year. On top of that, we've also made quite a few adjustments to the car since then. We have the stickier tires. I have a couple secrets under the hood right now that should help out. And then we also have brand new channel sponsor G-Lock brakes. They sent us over their R12 pads, which are going to be incredibly, insanely grippy. Very excited for that. And then on top of that, we also have a brand new shifter that is the prototype shifter, the DM2 from Dark Matter X, that is in the car. So we're gonna be putting it through its paces today, really sending it with the shifts and just seeing how it feels, making sure everything feels good, and it's gonna be a great day. So before we dive into some of the track content, guys, I want to take a second and thank you all for watching. Making videos has been a little difficult this year just because of everything going on. But for all of you guys watching, please make sure, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then also the notification bell, make sure you click it to on, from personalized to all notifications. We only post once a week, so you only get one video a week anyways, so make sure you guys do that. And some of you may be wondering how I got this here today. Well, we have a U-Haul trailer here, which actually ended up going very smoothly. We have the new Tundra. Everything has been really good. I was actually really surprised at how easy it was to tow. This was my first time ever towing, and for those of you guys watching right now who are truck guys, you're probably gonna laugh at this, but this is my first truck I've ever owned. This is my first time towing with the truck, so everything actually works really smoothly. The Tundra is kind of a beast, and everything worked out great, so yeah. All right, guys. So just did the first session. Unfortunately, was dealing with a couple small hiccups here and there. The new pads I have in are great, but I think I need to bleed the brakes. They're getting a little spongy for some reason. And then on top of that, the contact surface of these new pads are actually wider than the original ones that I had on there, the old ones. And so essentially there's the inner surface of the rotor and the outer surface, the pad's contacting that now, and it's scraping. So I was hearing this weird scraping noise when I was off the brakes from the brake pad riding on the inner and outer surfaces. So I just figured what that was. So gonna be working on it a little bit between now and the next session. Unfortunately, I think the only thing I can do right now is essentially just keep driving and wear down those spots on the rotors. And other than that, pretty solid session. I got a sub 1 minute. Got to shave some seconds for sure, but I definitely need to, you know, figure it out. It's been a while since I've been on track, so yeah. So, give you a little intro to the next clip. So that was session 2. Did not go great. I went 4 wheels off on the back of the main straight into turn 2 on the second lap right after the warm-up lap. So I didn't have enough heat in the tires, and I usually tap the brakes a little bit there, and I decided to try to just lift, take the corner lifting instead of braking. And yeah, so I went off 4 wheels off at around 110 miles an hour, I think. So that was a little scary. And then I went off a second time because I just forgot my braking point. So my head's not in it today. I don't know why. Just haven't been sleeping well. I didn't sleep well last night, but going to just take it easy, focus on individual little laps instead of trying to linking multiple laps together. And then hopefully we'll come back tomorrow a little more rested and be able to really do a lot better and start putting down good times. I did get a 59, so my absolute best last time I was here was a 58.3. So not too far off. If I link all my best sectors, I think it comes out to like a low 58, maybe I think a 58.1 or something like that if I did the math out. So the potential's there. I definitely want to go. I have the ability to go faster. I just need to figure out you know, what I'm doing with my head, stuff like that. The other weird thing is brakes. I definitely think I need to bleed the brakes because they are overheating like crazy. At the beginning, they feel amazing, but they're still seating and they just seem to be overheating, and the pedal just getting spongier and spongier the more I drive it. So need to figure something out. Definitely going to be doing brake cooling ducts over the winter before next session next spring. But yeah, you know, I want to do the best I can, but sometimes things happen and you just can't be competitive and or can't put down competitive times, but we'll have to see. So that's what's going on. I'm gonna roll the clip right now of me going off the 2 offs I had. The first one, that was probably the scariest one, you know, 4 wheels off that I've ever had. Scariest moment. You can hear, yeah, it's just, yeah, I'll roll the clip. So it is pretty much the end of day 1. I have some unfortunate news. The car's fine, I'm okay, but as you saw in that last clip, that was a pretty bad off, 4 wheels off. It was a little nerve-wracking, and we figured out that I'm having some pretty bad issues with my brakes. It looks like the brake fluid that I've been running was actually incorrect. So I'm running RBF 600. I should be running 660, or there's another one from Castrol that is definitely a lot better at absorbing heat and not boiling. But I was really having some bad issues with the brakes getting super spongy, and they actually failed when I was doing a cool down lap of this little you know, on some of the public roads over here around the track. So very unfortunate. At this point, I could bleed the brakes and be ready for day 2 tomorrow, but with the brake fluid essentially boiling or going over temperature in 2 different sessions, it's likely that I would need to do a full flush to make sure that the brake system works correctly and how it's supposed to be, because if that brake failure happens and the pedal goes to the floor on the main straight going 100, you know, 115, 120, that's very dangerous. And it's also possible, you know, that I put someone else on the track in danger, not just myself, because there are plenty of people out here also. So I could go into the back of someone by accident at the end of a straight, or who knows. So unfortunately, I am making the decision that the best thing to do right now is park the car, get everything loaded back up, and head home. So here is where the timeline kind of gets a little funky. So I'm at home now. This is editor Kevin, so I'm editing the video right now. Essentially, the original plan I had, obviously I was pretty upset about what had happened with the car, with my performance on track, whatever. And I decided that the safest thing for me to do, pack up, go home. As I was packing up, and for those of you guys who follow us on Instagram, you guys already heard this story, because I did stay for day 2. As I was packing up, a couple of my buddies came over and asked what was going on, and essentially I got help from a bunch of people at the track event. It really was an amazing moment. First off, they convinced me to stay for day 2 and keep pushing the car and get a better time, which was really cool. But really it was a moment where all the guys from the SCCA kind of rallied, and in a split second there was 8, 9, 10 people over there at my car. You know, beers were flowing a little bit at the end of the day there, and there was 4 jacks, you know, 10 jack stands all ready to go. Got the car all 4 corners up, and we bled the brakes. So we got the car prepped for day 2. There still needs to be a lot of work done on the car over the winter to get it ready for next season. We got to upgrade all of the brake fluid, flush it, and stuff like that. But we essentially got some new brake fluid into the calipers, and they ended up performing pretty well the second day. But I think that this moment is really kind of an eye-opener for me, because it really shows that even the people that you're competing against will take time out of their schedule to help you. And you know, if I was in the same position for someone else, you know, I would absolutely step in to help them with their car, to help them fix it up for getting it back on track. So for those of you who are worried about the intimidation factor of competing or even tracking your car in general, just remember that most of the time, the people that you end up competing against become your friends. Nobody really makes enemies out here unless you're like, you know, crashing into the back of people or something like that. But really, it was just a truly amazing experience to have these people rally around me and help me get the car ready. Because if I was, you know, having to do that by myself, I would have needed a power bleeder, which I bought and I forgot to bring, but it really would have been a daunting, you know, hours of work task by myself, back and forth, pumping the brakes, going over, bleeding each one, going back and forth, and it just would have been crazy without all these people coming to help me. So long story short, ended up going back day 2. Due to time constraints, I could only do 1 session of day 2. I did leave some time left on the table, but I absolutely was able to improve off my previous best, to really push the car. Those G-Lock brake pads, man, just grip so hard. Shout out to G-Lock once again. So I'm gonna roll the clip of my best lap time from day 2. It was session 1 of day 2, where I managed to shave off 1 full second from my previous best at La Junta. So obviously I'm very happy I was able to shave a full second off on a track this size. That is pretty significant. You know, this is a, you know, the best times on this track are, you know, 55 seconds, 54 seconds. So it's a relatively short track compared to, you know, High Plains or Pueblo or PPIR. Well, PPR is pretty short, but High Plains and Pueblo, you know, you're well over 2 minutes on your lap times, and if you're sub 2 minutes, you know, you're going really fast. So a full 1 second on those larger tracks is you know, like 2 seconds on a small track like La Junta. So overall, very happy with my improvement in terms of the performance of the car, but also me as a driver. That being said, after reviewing all my footage, there's absolutely more time left in the car. Unfortunately, there's been actually 2 different track sessions or track events this year that have coincided with a work trip for me, where I had a work trip early in the week right after or right before. So for multiple events, I wasn't able to attend the full event and hit every single session that was available for my group. And then you had times like at High Plains where I had issues with the coolant, you know, my coolant pipe bursting and overheating and things like that. So if I had been able to do the 2 more sessions on Sunday, the second day, I think I would have been able to shave off, you know, another half second, get down to the 56s, but that's racing, you know. I'm still very proud of my improvement. There is more left on the table, and that just kind of leaves me wanting more for next year. One thing I want to do really quick is just take a second to thank all of the sponsors and the channel partners that we have. Truly, these guys have let me, you know, financially even be able to do these track events, to do this track season with SCCA. Without these guys, you know, the car would be nowhere near where it is today. So I want to just do a quick roll call and shout out all the guys that have helped us out. So first off, Faction Fab have been a huge supporter of the channel. We do have a 10K giveaway, 10,000 subscriber giveaway coming up, and they are going to be supporting us and giving away one of their products. So that's just a quick teaser. You guys will hear more about that very soon. It'll be November 1st when we open up the giveaway, so you guys will get a video on that soon. But Faction Fab, the braided stainless steel brake lines, the rotors, the pitch stop mount, the steering wheel, not really a performance thing, but it does feel amazing. And it was cool when I was towing. I could see the little red stripe through the windshield through my, you know, my rear view mirror when towing it. But I also ran Faction Fab pads for the first, you know, 3 events of the year, and they really stood up to the abuse of track life. You know, I got to a point where I needed to upgrade to a dedicated track pad because their compound is more designed for, you know, heavy street use, light track use. Still an absolutely amazing pad that I would recommend to anyone that's daily driving or wants to get into, you know, autocross or any performance driving. Definitely look into Faction Fab. Also from Faction Fab, I completely forgot, their FR spec V2 coilovers. These things are monsters. You know, they've really helped keep the car crazy planted. They've survived going off the track at 100 miles an hour multiple times actually throughout the year. I've gone off. And they've really performed beautifully. Grimspeed for all of the absolutely amazing, reliable power bits, engine management bits. You know, I've talked about them for a very long time. Grimspeed has been a huge supporter of us, and so shout out to them. You know, the J-pipe, intake, boost controller, engine, you know, dress up bits. Also in that same vein, we have Renegade Motorsports. Huge shout out to that guy. Awesome dude. He is also going to be helping support us in our giveaway coming up very soon. For a runner-up prize, we're going to be giving away something from him as well. Again, more details coming soon. Shout out to Whiteline, sway bars, end links, rear control arms, and the roll center kit as well. Their parts have really stiffened up the car improve the handling incredibly, and overall, you know, really allowing the car to rotate on these crazy corners that I'm going through. So shout out to Whiteline. We do have a promo code that you guys can use to save money if you guys want to buy some Whiteline parts. That'll be down in the description. Next up on the list is JDM Muscle. I have their beautiful carbon fiber grille, and at La Junta, I did not have a single instance of overheating. The air temps were a bit cooler, but overall, beautiful, beautiful carbon fiber piece, and it actually allows a ton more airflow through the front over the intercooler, or I'm sorry, the top of the intercooler and the radiator. Quick note, when I was on track at La Junta, the IATs, the intake air temperatures that I was getting with the front mount intercooler and the better airflow and everything, they were like 5 degrees above ambient temperature. So incredible. So shout out again to Grim Speed and to JDM Muscle. Again, they have a promo code that you guys can use, WX Garage, and we have a referral link that I'll put down below as well. G-Lock Brakes has also been coming on to partner with the channel. G-Lock Brakes is an absolutely amazing company. They actually have the option to pre-bed your pads. So whatever compound you buy, if you buy street pads, if you buy like high performance street pads, if you buy dedicated track pads like mine, which are the R12s, they will, you do have the option to pre-bed them from the manufacturer. So I didn't have to go through a bedding process. All I did was install them and you're ready to go on the track. I do want to really emphasize here, the issues I was having with my brakes at the track was not because of the pads. It was more the fluid. That's all on me, not on G-Lock. Their pads performed amazingly. They did put more heat into the system, but that's just something that every race car has to manage. And that's something that I need to learn about and manage more by doing a stronger, dedicated race fluid. So I'll be doing that. I'm keeping these pads on the car because they are ridiculously amazing. And last but not least, we have Perrin. So Perrin has been another supporter of the channel. We have quite a few Perrin bits. We have their shift stop brace along the firewall in the back. We have the master cylinder, the brake master cylinder brace. And then we do have one other bit from them that I'll talk to you guys about at some point in the future that performed amazingly. I'll just tell you now, I'll hint to you that it's Perrin is responsible for the lack of overheating recently. So you guys might be able to figure out what that means, but JDM Muscle as well helped with the cooling. So, and with that, guys, we have reached the end of the track season and the end of our video today. Again, I want to thank everyone for following us, for supporting us. You know, we see your comments. The experience that I've had this year in learning how to track drive, obviously I have way more room for improvement. That'll just come with more seat time and more experience. But overall, you know, now that I have the truck, I have the car, basically dedicated to be a track car, and I daily drive it occasionally, but we are really well set up for an amazing season in the spring. Gonna be doing some improvements over the winter. And for any of you guys that want to get into track driving, it's really not that intimidating. Most tracks you need, you know, OEM seats, OEM safety system, airbags, that's all completely fine. The only thing you need is a race helmet. I've been using G-Force. I use their gloves and their helmet, and it's actually pretty comfortable. I like how it feels. It fits really well. If you guys have a race shop locally, definitely go in and put a helmet on, because the sizes are a little weird. So definitely go in person to try one on before you buy online. If you guys are in the Colorado area, definitely check out Wine Country Motorsports. That's where I got mine. awesome dudes over there. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to all of you guys for watching our videos, because you really make all of this possible. I can't wait to see what we can do next season. So, thanks guys. Peace.